beginning on chapter 1, we come across to a prologue of describing of sparks leaving an almighty flame that continues as long as ever, and another type of thing that is like a she-goat or a he-goat, or he/she-goat, eating the sparks. The sparks basically leave the flame. They don't go to it. They leave from it or fade away. And then we get to pre-1959. We see a kid, Zeph. He's threatening to kill Yogo. And Yogo goes down the stairs. And he kills over millions of people as a sacrifice for Jericho to obtain the power of Savage. And then Nortrick comes in to apparently save Zeph in some way. And then we jump to 1980, where the news is advertising that Zeph Drastic is killing some member of something. I forgot his name. But Zeph goes into a spiritual battle against Pansorn, who Pansorn is trying to get his son, who is a bully, killed by an elephant. But ultimately Zeph, with the spiritual influence, convinces the elephant not to kill the bully. The interesting part about this is that you know those stories of conscience, where you have an angel on your shoulder and a demon on your shoulder? That's basically it. Zeph the angel and Pansorn is the demon, and they try to influence the elephant into not killing the bully, and ultimately Zeph wins, and Zeph kills all of the guards of Pansorn. And even when Pansorn sent his 10-foot plus giant pig to try to kill Zeph, Zeph still wins and chops Pansorn into pieces. And the bully who was bullying the elephant, that was nearly killed by the elephant, is actually the son of Pansorn, and he salutes Zeph Drastic with his tail. And things seem to go right for Zeph with him winning the victory, until he senses Caprin the bat. He senses Caprin coming near him, and he's like, "Oh crap!" There's if Zeph couldn't if this guy was able to handle a giant pig, but apparently is fearing this character, and obviously this character is meaning serious business. So basically, Zeph Drastic gets out of the house or the mansion of Pansorn, and outside on the top at nighttime, in this city place, like New York, except the buildings are a lot taller than the World Trade Center. Zeph comes across to the Darth Vader of the series, Caprin. And Caprin, he basically beats the living daylights out of him, sending him flying into another building and pummeling him, destroying his sword, and picking him up and dropping him off a 1,000-foot skyscraper. And we later see Lincent in this chapter, and Lincent senses that Zeph is in trouble, and Lincent's cleansing the sins, absorbing the sins of people at a sex party, and committing all types of fornicated sin, or just not good sin in general, if we're going to put it in simpler terms. And Lincent absorbs her sins, and she senses Zeph, and she only says one line. She only has one line in this entire chapter, and all she says in this chapter is, "Zeph." That's all she says, and then she tries to go after him. Later, we see Zeph going into trying to get up, and then Caprin beats him up again and sends him flying up one of the tallest, or the tallest building in the entire city, that's over 150,000 feet, I think. And sends him to the top of it. And Zeph does just a little better than before, but ultimately, Zeph gets his ass handed to him because Caprin... Okay, here's the thing. Comparing Zeph to Caprin in terms of power is like comparing Kid Goku to Super Perfect Cell. So you can guess who won this fight here. And as Zeph was just a bit lucky in just punching, getting caught, catching Caprin off guard a bit, Zeph goes down the stairs on the tallest building, and then encounters Caprin again on the staircase. And Zeph's just like, you weren't even trying, were you? And then Caprin pretty much just chews him alive. And that's the end of the chapter. So basically, what's just set up here is a sense of wonder of what's going on, and who are these characters, and just to basically give you the sense of how menacing and how dangerous the declared secondary antagonist is, who's not even as powerful as a Yogo, and might not be as powerful as Savage either, and But Savage is another story. But about Yogo, he's not as strong as him, and he basically Zeph loses to this guy, and it's really brutal in how it happens. So that's basically what I wanted to set up here. It's just the inspiration to this chapter is Cowboy Bebop episode 1. No, not episode 1, episode 5. That's the inspiration to this chapter, episode 5, where Spike Spiegel fights Vincent. No, it's not Vincent. It's Vicious. I'm getting things mixed up. It's Vicious. Back to what I'm saying. And then a lot of things I wonder is that if the voice actor Vicious could do well voicing Caprin. But the thing is, Caprin didn't say much of anything in this chapter, honestly. He only said 2 lines, and that was it. And that's really all he did. And all he really said was some things on the lines of sadist lover. Though, before the chapter even started, it does describe his viewpoints on things and viewing God as a sadist. It does describe that about him, but ultimately, Caprin, there isn't really much given of Caprin in this chapter or this novel. There's not much said about him, but he basically just does a lot of fighting, and it's just this menacing figure with not much known about him, except with what he serves. We don't know what else he has with the story, with what the novel presents to him. We don't even know his ultimate goal or anything, but except he's like the Darth Vader of the series. But that's all I had to say about this chapter. I think that this was a solid chapter, but it's just that a lot of things that happened in it are just feel like feels like whoa, we hit a huge jump here. Like, what's going on? And the main character, Zeph, he's in his late 30s, and officially he's stated to be, in one of the drawings, to be born in 1942, and we see him fighting Caprin in 1980. So that would mean Zeph was, even despite the fact of how Zeph is an experienced in all this horrible stuff, he's still got a lot to go despite all this. Despite even being in his late 30s, despite losing a battle against an enemy in Chapter 1.